This is a fake mic. It's not going to broadcast out. It's for the chamber. But welcome. What a wonderful day to dedicate this. And a lot of you guys are some of the first to see our opportunity. You know, a lot of people see a 20,000 square foot building. I see 20,000 square foot of opportunity. This is a game changer for this area. And before we get going, we got a short program. We're going to cut the ribbon. I never have figured out how that cuts, that cardboard. But anyway, we do have some dignitaries here that, first off, I want to for sure thank the press for being here to share the word for us. We've got Rod McNair and Brian King. We got our board members, Luke Feigert and Linda Pledger. And if anybody else snuck in, I didn't see you. Scott Miller from Days Gone By, who was part of the start of all this. We also have Jerry Jackson, our mayor, and we've got Colin and Kyla and Kristen here from the ACC, and lots of friends and supporters. But thanks for being here. And here comes more.
Here comes your first students.
This, I would love to take credit for this. I'm just the face that gets to stand up here and talk about it. I know he will humbly duck his head, but Richard Stipe, where are you at? Richard has been our driving force. He's the one that's overseen this, him and Danny Oler from the start. We've got Rhett Howard, where you at? Rhett, our chief architect from Ridley Associates. We've also got a lot of just solid people that have been here. When we were chipping rocks for 4 months, they kept saying, hang in there, hang in there. By the way, those rocks are available. You can get a piece. We're paying for this building, $29.95, and you can have your own piece of the rocks. You know, when I got here in Harrison in 2019, I heard of the dream. And I heard the dream from the man that's going to talk to us next. This man has a passion for our kids, for the opportunity. And one of the first things he told me, and I'm going to share this, Craig, is little Johnny needs a place to go to school. Little Johnny's got a place to go to school. The heart, the passion that Craig Campbell passed on to us to say, let's do something like nobody else is doing in the area. Let's provide an opportunity. Where you guys are standing, it's on purpose that there is no equipment here. This is where our industry partners can come in and set up a line and troubleshoot it. They can go make pieces if they want to try to do something better. All they got to do is come in here, set it up, get it tweaked. When they get it done, we'll roll up the door. They can take it to the plant. Hopefully 0 to 1 night downtime as opposed to multiple days, multiple weeks. Opportunity. Craig, we couldn't have done it without your vision.
Absolutely.
The fact that he was a linebacker, we will not hold it against you. He wasn't up there with the line where the real men were, but that's all right.
I stayed away from you.
I could tell the story, but I can't tell it like Craig. Ladies and gentlemen, Craig Campbell.
Well. What I love about this community is that we take the time to take care of our students and our community. But the best thing I love about this community is when we start something, we finish it. Other communities around our area spend most of their time floating around in the middle of the ocean talking about it. But our community does something about it, and each of us picks up a paddle. We all put the paddle in the water and away we go. But the best part about this community, as I said, is that when we take our ship out, we bring our ship back into port. And a lot of communities don't do that. We are finishers, and that's what matters with this facility. What happens to other communities is they get going in that circle, they get to talking about projects, and before you know it, the big black hole that Scott Tennyson and I call the place where great ideas go to die. Those are where those ideas go to die. In our community, we don't believe in the big black hole. What we believe in is the students. And when the students walk through this door, they're not going to know anything. But when the students leave that front door, they're going to know everything. And part of the word everything consists of the credentials that they will earn at this facility that can enable them to work at any manufacturer in the United States of America. And by the way, if you haven't heard, there's something called tariffs going on, and they're bringing manufacturing back to the United States. So what a perfect time for our young people to take advantage of that situation. There's a lot of people to thank, and I know Dr. Massengale thanked a lot of them. I'm going to try my best to thank the people that put the paddle in the water. And if I miss some of you, please blame Scott Miller, because he's the one that wrote my speech. First of all, I obviously need to thank Dr. Massengale. When Dr. Massengale took over in 2019, I screamed out to his office as fast as I could, because I was worried that after the work we'd done in the previous administration, that possibly this was going to get put on the back burner. I talked to him. I didn't even let him say a word. I know he wanted to. I just kept talking. I spit on him. I did everything, trying to tell him, we've got to keep this going, keep it going. He very calmly said, "Are you finished?" I said, "Yeah, I'm finished." He said, "Well, Craig, what you don't know is that when I was a young man, before my education career started, I worked in a manufacturing plant. I know how much manufacturing means to a community." I sat back in my chair and said, "Praise the Lord." That's how it started. I want to thank Richard Stipe, just like Dr. Massengale did. He took care of all the problems, all the situations to make sure that this building is here. I need to thank, obviously, the board of directors of the Boone County Economic Development Corporation. Those board of directors are Kathy Brandt, Jane Christensen, Lane Ragsdale, Ken Reeves, Brad Crawford, Scott Miller, Mike McNutt, and last but not least, Dr. Rick Massengale. Those are the people that had the forethought and the stewards of $700,000 to have that money left since 1957 is a miracle. But my board members made sure that money was here when a project of this nature came along. I want to thank Joe Willis. I want to thank Jeremy Ragland from the Northwest Arkansas Economic Development, who threw in, I think, close to about $3 million on this project. They worked very hard. They led the rest of us down the road, told us what to do, told us what not to do, which was more important than anything. I want to thank Don Sugg, who I know was here today, and Scott Miller, who both took me to Little Rock, Arkansas, scared me to death because they told me I was going to have to talk in front of the legislature. But praise the Lord, Don had done all his homework, and we got the money just like that right there. That goes to show you what the reputation is of Harrison, Arkansas, and North Arkansas College. I also want to thank the mayor. I want to thank him for the incentive project that the city of Harrison put together that North Arkansas College was able to apply for and receive $100,000 from the city of Harrison. Some of these machines you see behind you are financed by part of that money. So thank you very much, Mayor, for that. I also want to thank the people that none of you know that are inside this book. This is a ledger from 1957. These are the names of the people that gave money in 1957 in order to start our first industrial park. Where did they get the gumption to do that? The gumption to do that came from our hospital. The hospital was developed in the early 50s. In 1957, there were 7 doctors in our local hospital. The 7 doctors all band together and purchased stock from the BCIDC at that time. They were the largest donor group in the whole entity of Harrison. 7 doctors and 4 administrative groups. Why did they do that? Because the hospital knew without an industrial park, there may not be a hospital. Without a hospital, there certainly would not be an industrial park. Dr. Massengale, I would appreciate it if you would keep this book out here somewhere in this building, because this is the reason why we're here today, in my humble opinion.
Just like a linebacker steals all my thunder, all my other things. That's all right.
I read your speech.
So you've heard the vision. You heard our architect who designed it. Clark Contractors out of Little Rock. They built it. And didn't they do a good job? We're going to... But it took money. We had $3 million from Asa Hutchinson, but then Jeremy Ragland, Joe Willis got involved, and they helped us. And Joe and Jeremy, between the two of them, helped us obtain another $2 million of EDA grant money. Joe, where you at? You tell them what your part is?
Thank you, Doctor. So at the Northwest Arkansas Economic Development District, our mission is to support cities, counties, communities in every facet that we can. And so about 2016, a group of us sat together in where the former Regional Chamber of Commerce offices were. And that group included Dr. Esters, who's no longer here, and Scott Miller, Scott Tennyson, Mike Neighbors, certainly Craig Campbell. And we developed the framework for the vision that this guy brought to the table. And the idea was, what can we do to support the manufacturing base in this town? Because all of us know that's the heart of our employment sector, is that manufacturing base. And we have to support those industries. And they're challenged, as most of you know. We have no rail, we have no water, we have no interstate. So how can we support that industrial base to really drive that and to provide opportunities for our students? And Craig can quote the numbers and does them like that, talking about the numbers that graduate each year and those that go into college and those that come back from that. And they need a place, and they need to go to work. And there are good manufacturing jobs, and they're not the manufacturing jobs of old. They're clean, and they're well placed, and there's a lot of opportunity for some very good salaries to be had of that. And so from that conversation that we had in 2016, developed this framework or this vision, and we began to try to work toward that. It took a number of years, as you can see, as we're here today. But I'm very, very proud of the effort that our organization and the piece that we had in it. We did solicit an EDA grant. Took us a while to get that through and had to push some buttons, but I just firmly believed in the mission and what we were trying to accomplish here, and we were able to eventually sell that to the authorities there at the Austin Regional Office and EDA to make this happen. I do want to say, before I finish my comments, I want to recognize one person I don't think is here today, and he was a linchpin in this, and that is State Senator Scott Flippo. I had multiple conversations with Senator Flippo, who at that time represented our district, and told him we desperately needed some state funding to close the funding gap. We had the $700,000 from BCDC, we had the EDA grant, we had the college's commitment, but we were still short. And he went to work with the governor, and they had multiple conversations themselves. And he called me one day and said, I think we've gotten that done. And so I would appreciate it very much if Senator Flippo was here, but I do on the record want to acknowledge his contribution to this, or it probably would not have happened. Last but not least, before I finish, I want to say how ironic it is that in 2016 this conversation started, and I'm going to be followed by a young man over here who happens to be my nephew, and I'm very proud of him, and he's going to be one of the students here and going to say a few words. And so for me, it's a personal milestone that my nephew, who wasn't very old in 2016 and had really no idea that this would close the loop, But I'm very proud of that young man, and I'm very proud that this facility here is for all of the students to enjoy, and a lot of hard work went into getting it here, and I want to say thanks to all of you for supporting it.
The vision, the building, where does it go now? Our next hope is the next generation. If you saw on the TV this morning, I made the statement that my generation, the landing gear is in sight, the runway's out there. We're going down. The future is our kids. Titus is going to come tell us what it means to him and the fact that you're kin to Joe Willis. I am so sorry. But, no, Titus Grinder.
Good morning. My name is Ty Grinder, and I'm one of the few lucky students who get to attend this school and this new building and wonderful program. I remember talking with my dad the summer before my junior year, wondering what career path should I choose, because I had given no thought of what I should do. And he told me I should consider HVAC, because it was a good career and it would be in demand for a long time. So I considered it. And I didn't know that going to North Ark, it would lead me to an amazing program, and that would open so many doors for me in my future. This building I stand in front of today is helping me reach my goals and pursue my dreams. And I'm truly thankful to the program here at North Ark and to God for giving me these opportunities to make the most of my life. I hope that years from now, when I'm older, I can look back and know that this place helped me achieve my dreams and also gave future to students to achieve theirs. Nothing would make me happier than to know the students who came after me benefit from North Ark's programs and opportunities. Because this building is not just a building, it is a gateway to higher knowledge and one that will strengthen our community and the state and our country, hopefully. I pray that North Ark will continue to provide opportunities like the ones I have been given, and that students for generations to come will find their own paths here, improving not only their own lives, but also the lives of their people around them. Today isn't just a ceremony, it is a milestone, a lasting mark on North Ark's contributions to this community. As Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." I believe that verse applies to this building today. The Lord had plans for me to attend North Ark, to study here, to gain knowledge, and to build a better future. I can't count the nights I've lain awake worrying about what my future would hold, but today I have peace, because I know that North Ark has given me the foundation to pursue my goals. Not everyone is eager to wake up day to day and go to work. Many people wish life could be that easy, to stay at home. But the truth is, the world doesn't work that way. The best advice I was ever given was by my dad, was to choose a career that you can love. I wouldn't say I'm in love with HVAC, but I am content with it, and I do love that North Ark has built this incredible facility where people can prepare for careers that will give them both purpose and stability. Before machines existed, working people believed that they themselves were the machines, doing all the labor as efficiently as possible. But when machines became more common and nations began to depend on them, the world looked to the younger generation and said, "You are the future." Young people learned to master the machines, increasing production, improving quality of life. As time passed, society realized they needed schools for programs and to train more in these skills to keep progress moving forward. And when the state of Arkansas needed programs to prepare young people in the fields like machines and electronics, North Ark answered the call. And because North Ark stepped up, students like me now have the chance to prepare our careers and give back to the communities and our country. I want to thank North Ark for that, and I want to thank you all for letting me speak today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.
And I was just joking. If you're half the man of Joe, you'll be a great man one day. Joe has been a great. All right, so you've heard the vision, the present, the future. How did we get to where we're at right now? I would like to invite our current Board of Trustees chair, Luke Figert, up to say a couple of words.
You know, you're pretty trusting. I see a lot of green buttons around here, and a lot of people just standing around. I hope they don't hit one of those things. I really just want to say thank you to our entire community. You know, it sounds like everybody's had a part in it, and I know they have, from the chamber to the city. Obviously, here at North Ark, Dr. Rick has a vision that extends not only to this campus, but beyond. We've talked about that. And this community sees that as well. You know, we have an economic development focus at the city, and I know the people that voted to continue that economic development focus a few years ago share in this. I always share my story. When we're trying to get kids to stay in town, that's one of our goals, not just at the city, obviously here at North Ark as well, is you want to keep your babies home, right? So you need to have a place for them to go learn, work, and this place, it does just that. Anybody that's not necessarily going into higher education can come focus here, but again, it's part of higher education at this point. So thank you, Craig, for having that dream to continue and push forward. Like the bulldog, everybody says, you do a great job. I've been sitting in several meetings, and if you all have not seen the passion come out of Craig Campbell, just ask him about it, because he will tell you. He does a great job. That's right. Last but not least, thank you to our staff. You know, you continue to work hard, obviously continuing to push this building forward, and our students. Thank you for choosing North Ark, and we appreciate it and look forward to what the future might bring.
And finally, the future. This is the last building that will be open at North Ark College. In the future, when we build our other 5 or 6 or 7, by the way, I see Jason Patience over there. He's a board member that snuck in on me. We're going to open it as North Arkansas College of the University of Arkansas. In order to show you what the future looks like, we have the president of the University of Arkansas system, Jay Silveria, here. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you for the drive.
Well, good morning. It's great to be here. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the hospitality. It's a real privilege to be here for a couple reasons. For today, for the celebratory moment that we're going to have to open this amazing facility and start its work in the workforce development, which I'll talk about in a minute, but also really to welcome North Ark to the University of Arkansas system. I mean, this is a system that reaches from Monticello to Hope to Forest City to Fayetteville to Little Rock to points in between. And so I really want to welcome you to the University of Arkansas system family. I've been in this position since January, and really from the first week that I was there, the conversations always were about workforce development and our responsibility as a system to develop a workforce for the state of Arkansas and for the region. That's a priority of the state legislature, it's a priority of the governor, and certainly then it becomes a priority of mine. And so our workforce development issues across the system are crucial, and this is nothing but one of the finest and the latest examples of workforce development. It's been said already about the future, and that higher education really is all about the future. Students, where do you go? Students that are our future, right? And we're here for that. We're here for that future. As Rick said, the landing gear might be down for the rest of us, but we're here to develop that future. But it's the future for the state and the future for the region here. So it's a real privilege to be here to share that moment with you. So let me close on behalf of 27,000 employees of the University of Arkansas system. 27,000 employees, and there's 70,000 students that are part of the system. And you are part of that family as we join that and all of the successes that we're having around the state as we're continuing to be the engine that drives the economic development and the economic future of the state. Thank you again, Rick, for the chance to be here, and I look forward to meeting and talking to all of you. So thank you.
Okay, we're going to, after we conclude with our ribbon cutting here in just a second, we'll be giving tours, explore. We'll have people strategically placed. Ricky, where you at? We do have people strategically placed. We will have people strategically placed. Go look at this facility. One thing that has not been addressed is the foresight that the BCEDC had when they donated the money to us. They also gave Joe Willis and his bunch at ED a lump sum of money that allows a student that wants to learn manufacturing to have a full ride scholarship. All you got to do is apply. Get our story out. The story is not about where we're at today. The story is about where we're going tomorrow. And we can do this. We're going to hook our wagon on the back of Craig Campbell. We're going to take his vision, and we're going to make him, when he and I fly away and we're sitting up there with the good Lord looking down, watching football, we're also going to say, look at Harrison. Look at that region. When we were there, it was a small group. Now look how big it is. Look at the opportunity. Look at the future. Because I had a dream. Thank you for your dream. Well, we've done all we can do here. So we're going to turn it over to Jeff in the chamber now.